Hey there, happy Monday. This is Dr. Kara of KH Evolution, and I apologize. I missed last week a little bit. I posted a video, but I didn't do a whole lot to let you know that it was there. So I apologize for that. Last week I spoke about some ancestral healing because we are working through a lot of ancestral baggage, a lot of old ties that we are still carrying or connected to, that we're allowing to influence how we are interpreting the world around us today when it's actually outdated. And so if you missed that video, I highly encourage you to check that out uh, and have a listen and see if anything comes up for you as you are listening, anything in your lineage or anything in your memory, maybe that pops up or grabs your attention. That's a good indication. And just be aware that sometimes it doesn't happen right at the time of the video, but it happens a good 24, 48, maybe even 72 hours after you've listened to the video, you've brought it into your bioenergetic field, into your awareness, and then you're going about your day. And when you least expect it, something triggers you. And if you hold this gentle awareness, you often can relate it back to what you were listening to on the video. And in this case, it would be about the ancestral lineage and pieces that we are activating within us, or that the light codes are activating within us, that are wanting and needing to be dismantled. So I want to talk a little bit about how this process just kind of happens. It's not, you don't have to be energetic or intuitive or psychic or into all this energy stuff. It's happening to everybody right now across the board. And so the difference is not whether you're intuitive or not, because we all are intuitive. The difference is whether you are holding a gentle awareness to it or not holding a gentle awareness, whether you are wanting to be familiarized or aware that it's happening, or whether you don't. So we certainly can hold a blind eye to it, but it's going to happen whether you're holding that blind eye or whether you're actively participating. When you're actively participating, I believe that we can have it transmute or transform with greater gentleness and ease. We also can understand a little bit more, and so it lends us to moving through things a little faster than we might necessarily move through them if we didn't hold this awareness. So in addition to ancestral information being triggered and a lot of old feelings or emotions being triggered, we also have this full moon today, and we have the lunar eclipse that occurred last night. And so for several days now, most intensely, probably the last 48, and then the 48 to come, we have this very potent energy moving through each and every one of us, through our bioenergetic field, through our auras, and through the energy of our homes and our land. So it's impacting every single thing that really exists, and it's making us feel probably achy, headachy, tired. It may be again causing some uncomfortable emotions to come up, because many of us don't like to live in the discomfort of agitation or overwhelm or anger or rage or sorrow or grief. And so when those emotions get triggered, we aren't sure what to do with them. And so the best thing that you can do with them right now in this moment with all of this energy coming together and kind of creating this crescendo, if you will, is to kind of sit in it and sit with it. Sitting in it is different than getting attached to it. So if you can sit in the experience and kind of ask yourself questions about it as if you were an observer from the outside in, or if you were inside of a sphere and the sphere on the outer edges held the intensity of the emotion, but you were small on the inside. And so you could observe what it feels like to be, to have this energy, oppress. I'll use that word because it is oppressive, and it's pressing upon you. But if you can observe it from that space, um, then it will give you a great deal of um, information about yourself, right? Because we are not trying to absorb the energy of the emotion and allow it to swallow us up and become us, or us become it, right? What we are being given the opportunity to do is to separate from it, gently separate from it, so that when we separate it out from our being, we can emerge into something that is more whole, that doesn't have that intense trigger. Not saying that we can always eliminate every trigger 100% and transform it and transmute it in one effort. Oftentimes, it's a multi-layered and multifaceted event to come to full circle with the healing. But when we can kind of separate ourselves from it, it gives us a great deal more opportunity to see the source and the root of it, and to disentangle from it. So hopefully this is making sense, or you can relate to an experience where this has happened to you before. So when we know that the energy is triggering this and bringing this up, and that we may have opportunities that come to us, or experiences that come to us that are providing this response, we hold more power, personal power, and more integrity in being able to respond rather than react. If we have no idea that this is the type of energy that is being triggered within us right now for release, we may find ourselves in the middle of a in the middle of a shit show where things are just completely out of control, and almost in a split second, and we don't know how we ended up in this space. And we ended up in that space because we got triggered. And so if we can identify with that first, a lot of times we can catch ourselves before the whole storm comes into play, and we can pull our energy back into ourselves, and we can hold that energy with great reverence, with great understanding of how special we are, right? We can bring that energy back in. We can get ourselves grounded in the fact that we are here, we are invaluable, we are important, and that we want to take good care of that energy, and that we all have moments. It's part of being human, where we have these feelings that make us feel ugly, or make us feel yucky. And so, and that's okay. We don't want what we're being given the opportunity to learn and grow from is that those emotions don't define us. Those times and periods where we're feeling less than ourselves or less than whole, that we don't allow those to become the moments that define who we really are, and that we really own our light instead. And now more than ever, we need to own our light. Now more than ever, we are being called to identify with the independence of who we are, to separate from the influence that other people's energy has upon us, and to really come to know and heal and step into the wisdom of the very essence of our soul. Because, as I'm sure you've heard before, there is no one else like you on this planet. There's no one else that's come before you, and there's no one else that will come after you that will exemplify who you are and be able to give and be the unique gift that you are. And that unique gift is held in the simplicity of you, not in the things you do or the objects or the materials. It is the essence. It is all that you are. And so that's where we're at right now, with this beautiful influx of powerful energy that's making us feel uncomfortable. We are being given this opportunity to step further and further into our independent source of courage and personal power, to shine our light, to understand what our true colors are, and to really be true to that, to really make a commitment to own that and want to be that. And the navigation of how to get there is coming through the challenges that are presented in front of us. And on that note, I will say thank you so much for listening, for being here. I appreciate you. And if you're looking to learn more and you want to understand how to move through those challenges with the spiritual essence, with energy leading you, then that's what we do in Ascend. And that's what we do in Harmonize. And that's what I love to do, is help you to shift that perspective, or see and perceive your life from a completely different vantage point that allows for greater joy and a greater wholeness in all that you do. All right. If you have questions, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. I'll also include the link to book a discovery call down below with me. That's completely free. I'd love to connect with you in that way. Otherwise, enjoy this full moon, be well, and be light.